filed this report within the past hour.
Right, morning gentlemen. The activity on the blue side of the border is as follows.
The day starts at 5 a.m, an early reminder for the officers of Kiwi Crew 2 that they're a long way from home.
The Americans lost an A-10 in this area, and there is...
Although the Kiwis are in no immediate danger, the intelligence briefing is an important start to the day, putting them in the right mood for the journey ahead.
Have a good trip.
The briefing officer isn't the only one wishing the Kiwis well. While the paperwork necessary before takeoff is completed, others make their preparations for any emergency.
I used to be 6'6" tall.
On the tarmac, a final check of the New Zealand Hercules that's older than some of the crew who'll fly it. 2 New Zealand Hercules are based in Saudi Arabia. They're part of the multinational coalition force fighting Iraq a few hundred kilometres to the north. This flight is the 95th made by the 2 New Zealand planes since they arrived in Saudi 2 months ago. New Zealand's contribution is small, but it is a visible one. The scarf is traditional Arabic, the colours pure New Zealand.
I feel very proud to be here, actually. I never thought really that this would happen to me when I joined the Air Force. Yeah, I feel pretty good doing the job I'm doing now. It gives me great satisfaction.
When I first came up here, I didn't really know what pressure was until we started those initial days of flying with the initial alerts. But now it's all just part of the day, really.
The closer the crew flies to the front, the more evidence of the massive war machine gathered against the Iraqis. Roads are crowded with military vehicles, and to the right, tracks gouged into the sand by tanks and other armour. Like everyone else, the New Zealanders are making their plans for when the aerial war against the Iraqis comes to an end. The Hercules made several practice landings and low-level flights over an isolated airstrip. The airstrip's been carved out of the desert, somewhere quite close to the Iraqi border, so the Hercules can land and evacuate any soldiers wounded in a possible land battle. While it's a job they're proud to do, there is a price high above the Arabian desert that some have to pay.
I have a wife and a young family at home, and I think it's hard for me to realise that my kids are growing up without their dad.
Mr. Zamyatin was invited to the Foreign Office to hear Britain's objections. Although both sides are keeping the details secret, it's clear that the Allies intend that Saddam Hussein's defeat shall be absolute and unmistakable.
I gave the Soviet ambassador the Prime Minister's reply to President Gorbachev's message, and the message was confidential, and so is the reply, but obviously it was on the lines that the Prime Minister told the House of Commons about yesterday.
On Monday, Soviet officials confidently talked of having a reply by today. Today, they were putting a brave face on their concern that by delaying a reply, Iraq was jeopardizing their peace effort.
We understand that the Iraqi side is bound to take some very tough decisions, tough for them to take, if you remember what their position has been from the outset. But we would like to receive that reply as quickly as possible.
In Paris, the French Foreign Minister, Mr. Dumas, was meeting his Iranian counterpart and being quoted as saying Iraq had 24 hours to withdraw, otherwise force would decide the issue.